Running Back Nation, what is good? Sicko Nation, what is good? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Running Back NBA. I'm your host, DJ Eastwood. We got a lot to talk about today, man. We got a lot to talk about. The NBA offseason is damn near in full swing. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening. A lot of rumors flying around. A lot of drama. We got Jaylen Brown is popping off on Twitter. There's two Jaylen Brown trades that are possible with two teams. His trade value is not as high as everybody thought. His dad popped off on Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins. It's an MTV show. It's absolutely amazing. Then we got the Golden State Warriors are trying to build the oldest team of all time. Kawhi Leonard trade rumors. The Clippers want somebody from the Raptors that the Raptors are not going to give up. Marcellus Wiley, former FS1, I think, an ESPN guy. He has a YouTube show, and he played a clip from my show on his YouTube show, and I'm going to react to Marcellus Wiley reacting to me. I think that'll be funny. Then we got to talk about this Malik Beasley stuff because this dude's about to go to jail for point shaving. And there's clips of like evidence of him point shaving, and I think it's insane. And I think the last thing is, where do you all stand on the LaMelo Ball trade a couple of days later? And we will also react to the best in the business, Bill Simmons, in that segment. Thank you for being here. Do me a favor, hit the like button one time. Give me 178 people in here. Give me 178 likes. I also want to let you know, since we hit 10,000 subscribers, we launched channel memberships for $4.99 per month, cheaper than a cup of Starbucks. You will get a Sickos badge next to your name. Your chats stand out in the live streams. Your comments stand out on the videos. You will get access to the members-only Discord server that has a suggestion box so you can drop suggestions for topics for us to cover on the show. There's a call-in section of the members-only Discord server, so when we build up the members enough, we'll start taking member call-ins on the show. Members-only videos, live streams, all those types of things. So consider clicking the link in the description, becoming a member of the channel. Thank you so much for the support. Let me get some air. Let me get some air, man. Let's see who's in the chat, man. Let's talk about the unction. I don't know what that means. Morning, happy free agent incoming, wild trade narratives. Wild trade narratives. Very wild. Thunder fans are happy. Why are they happy? You lost. What are you happy about? I'm just kidding. The Scarface John Morant bit you did the other day. Say hello to my little friend. I love that movie. One of the best acting jobs of all time. Clippers better get Brandon over RJ. The latter most of the time bricks his shot. Yeah, but Brandon Ingram also bricks his shot a lot. And is just... When you categorize, if we categorize NBA players, let's categorize NBA players the way that we categorize income levels, right? Brandon Ingram is upper middle class, right? He's not mid, but he's not gonna take a team anywhere. He's just kinda, I think the guy smokes a pound of weed before he plays his basketball games. He just cruises at 20 points per game, basically. He's one of the smoothest players I've seen in a long, long time. He has an incredible level of skill, but maybe it's just the vibe that he gives off. Brandon Ingram just doesn't look like he tries that hard. And I think he's just cool with, like, I'm going to go out here, drop a cool 20. We'll see what happens. You know what I mean? So I don't think Brandon Ingram's really moving the needle for a championship team either. Not that the Clippers are a championship team or are going to be a championship team anytime soon. All right, let's get into the Jaylen Brown stuff, man, because what better way to start a show than to talk. I love Jaylen Brown. I just want to say that I love Jaylen Brown, man. Like, if I'm going to do a show all off season with no actual games to react to, thank you, Jaylen Brown. This guy he's just going to give me content basically every day. So the report came out from Bobby Marks on ESPN that he was basically saying the league doesn't value Jaylen Brown the way that Jaylen Brown thinks the league should value him. The league doesn't value Jaylen Brown the way that the Celtics think the league should value Jaylen Brown. And I feel the same way about Jaylen Brown. My personal take on Jaylen Brown is this, if you haven't heard it before. Incredible talent, unbelievable build for just an athlete, 6'8", 230. He's a monster. Doesn't actually have a whole lot of skills. And so Jaylen Brown can score 29 points per game through the regular season. But when it comes down to the playoffs, you saw it in that Sixers series. They were up 3-1. All Jaylen Brown had to do is lead his team to one more victory, and he couldn't do it. And it kept coming down to the fourth quarter, and they kept running Jaylen Brown ISO, and he just doesn't have a bag. Jaylen Brown might be the best role player in the NBA. I think that's where I stand with Jaylen Brown. I think he's the best role player in the NBA. And a lot of teams should want Jaylen Brown, but he's not. The returns and the offers are proving he's not a guy that people feel like is going to lead you somewhere you weren't about to go. So you're not going to get 4 unprotected first-round picks for Jaylen Brown. You're just not going to. Anyway, the report came out, and Bobby Marks literally said, I had an analytics guy tell me we view Jaylen Brown as the 7th best player on a team. Now, to Jaylen Brown's credit, I think that's absolutely ridiculous. He's not the 7th best player on a team. He's very well the 2nd best player on a championship team. I know he won Finals MVP, but that team was so good. Drew Holiday and Derek White, an unbelievable pairing of defensive facilitating point guards. Yeah, Jaylen Brown's not a 1A. And so I agree with that sentiment. I don't agree that he's the 7th best player on the team. But anyway, Jaylen Brown responded to this. And he said, analytics nowadays used to discredit and control narratives. Analytics nowadays are used to discredit and control narratives. Roll the ball out. None of these guys better than me on both ends. Who does he work for? He works for ESPN. And he said some other stuff. He said Bobby Marks replied to him and said it wasn't posted. What wasn't posted was a 2-minute. The 2-minute report of was the 2M of saying I'm not an analytics person but an eye test guy. That I would want Jaylen Brown on my team, that you impact winning. And Jaylen Brown said, state your source. Then he just went on a Kanye West level Twitter rant. I'm surprised he wasn't typing in all caps. And he said, analytics have and are ruining the game we love. We are playing AI hoops. That's actually hilarious. That's a well done. That's a well done tweet by Jaylen Brown. Nobody has won more combined regular season and playoff games since I entered the league 10 years ago. Analytics nowadays are used to control narratives. Who does he work for? Jaylen Brown is not helping himself. The Finals MVP, the contract that he got, and then this past season playing without Jason Tatum and leading the Boston Celtics to 60 wins, even though they totally choked harder than any team has ever choked, up 3-1 on the Philadelphia 76ers of all teams, even though they choked that away. The Finals MVP, the contract, and this past season leading his team to 60 wins has gone to Jaylen Brown's head. He thinks he is an NBA superstar. Maybe, like, is he a superstar? Is Jaylen Brown a superstar? SGA, Wemby, Jalen Brunson, Nikola Jokic, Anthony Edwards. Name the NBA superstars. Is Jaylen Brown an NBA superstar? I don't think so. I just don't think so. But I think all of that has gone to his head. He thinks he is on that level. And because of that, he's the one that started this drama with the Celtics by going on Twitch and doing all that shit. Now teams are looking at it like, not only is Jaylen Brown not the type of player that's going to give you auto buckets in the fourth quarter of the playoffs, he's not Jalen Brunson. Knicks fans, I know you're going to love me saying this. If we're just looking at it like that, Jaylen Brown is not on the level of Jalen Brunson. As a team leader and as a fourth quarter performer in the playoffs, he's not even close. So teams are looking at it like they want 4 unprotected first-round picks. He's not the kind of guy you could just give the ball to in the fourth quarter and he leads you to victory. We just saw it. And he's a fucking headache. He just ruined the team chemistry of the Boston Celtics and they want to trade him. So why would we give up for... Think about that for a second. Anyway, we got 2 trades that are possible with the Jaylen Brown situation, all right? I was going to play the clip of his dad yelling at Stephen A. Smith, but I don't know if I'm going to play that because I don't know if I care that much about that, to be honest with you. 2 trades that are rumored right now. The Denver Nuggets and the Portland Trailblazers. And I just saw another report that said the LA Clippers want Jaylen Brown badly. But let's look at these. First one is the Nuggets, I believe. Jaylen Brown trade rumors. Oh, no, that's the Blazers. Where's the Nuggets one? Let's do the Nuggets first. Denver Nuggets proposed a trade. Proposed to trade. I can't read. Denver Nuggets proposed to trade 2 key pieces for Jaylen Brown. Who do you think it is? Answer in the chat, answer in the comments. Who do you think the Denver Nuggets are putting on the board to try to get Jaylen Brown? And by the way, I think Jaylen Brown and Nikola Jokic, forget about it. That's a good tandem. That's a damn good tandem. That's a damn good tandem. You get Jaylen Brown next to Nikola Jokic. The Denver Nuggets have emerged as one of the leading suitors for Jaylen Brown. Bill Simmons has floated the potential trade that would see Denver part with Jamal Murray and Cameron Johnson while acquiring Brown and sharpshooter Sam Hauser. The Celtics would acquire Johnson using their traded player exception, the only way they can absorb incoming salary of $73 million. The Nuggets would receive Jaylen Brown and Sam Hauser. The Celtics would receive Jamal Murray and Cam Johnson. They started these trade talks by saying, we want 4 unprotected first-round picks. Come on, Bill Simmons. Come on, Bill Simmons. You can come up with a better trade than that. Come on, Yahoo Sports. You can come up with a better trade than that. I'm here to tell you right now, the Boston Celtics are absolutely not trading Jaylen Brown for Jamal Murray and Cameron Johnson. That's absolutely not happening. Brad Stevens would be like, listen, I don't care how much of a headache he is. I don't care if he hates this organization. He's playing here. If my only offer is Jamal Murray and Cam Johnson, Jaylen Brown's staying here. That ain't happening. And Yahoo, you got to find somebody better to quote than Bill Simmons, because that's a ridiculous trade. Yo, shout out to Cyan Mailstorm for being a member of Sicko Nation. Let's go. Let's go, man. Thank you so much. He said Jokic and Brown will be at a level of chaotic, evil, hard to fathom. It would be a pairing that would be feared. Because the Nuggets got to do something, right? They kind of rode out that championship team for a couple years, and they never really got back there. Jokic is aging. They got to do something. I would like to see the Nuggets pull it off, but it's not going to happen for Jamal Murray and Cam Johnson. That's ridiculous. The second one is Jaylen Brown trade rumors. Blazers make a $55 million forward untouchable in potential move for Celtics star. Oh, yes. Do you guys know who the Portland Trailblazers said he's untouchable? The Great White Hope, Deni Avdija. That is right. The Portland Trailblazers said, you can't have Deni Avdija. Blazers will not trade Deni Avdija at any cost. Any cost. Jaylen Brown, you think you're an NBA superstar. You think you're top 5. You might think you're top 3. I'm starting to think you think you're the best player in the league. The truth is, Jaylen Brown, you're not better than Deni Avdija. Since you're on Twitter all day and social media, reading stuff all day, you should be getting the point here. You should be seeing the evidence here. What you think and what the truth is. You think you're 2026 Michael Jordan. In reality, you're not better than Deni Avdija. It's not narratives. It's not advanced analytics. It's not ESPN and these guys spinning stories just to hate on. His dad said that ESPN's doing it to hate on a black man. I don't know why we always got to go. I don't know why we always got to do the race card thing. It's not analytics. It's definitely not skin color, in my opinion. That's ridiculous. It's not any of that. It's the fact that you're just not that good at the end of the day. You're just not that good at the end of the day. You're not even better than Deni Avdija. Anyway, those are the two. Wait, we didn't even finish this. I went on a little bit of a rant. We didn't even finish this. The Blazers All-Star forward with Deni Avdija is not on the table. Look at this. Look at this guy. Look at the Great White Hope. Dude, he looks like Fonzie from Happy Days, man. He looks like the dude in the, what's his name, that rides the motorcycle in the cop show from the 80s. Deni isn't even white. Hey, man, come on, bro. We're just having some fun here. There's always someone on the couch in the party that's like, hey, he's actually from Turkey or something like that. Come on, man. We're just having some fun. Portland's stance on Avdija is not hard to understand. So what's the potential trade then? What's the potential trade? Seems like Brown maybe failed to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. They didn't give me a potential trade. Let's try to find a Jaylen Brown to Blazers potential trade package. Give me something to work with. A potential Jaylen Brown trade package would likely center around Jeremy Grant for salary matching, alongside young talents like Scoot Henderson and Shaedon Sharpe, and multiple valuable first-round picks. The Celtics want the first-round picks. None of these players are moving the needle. Jeremy Grant salary matching. And Jeremy Grant's a good player to have on your team. Scoot Henderson, he had a decent little run at the end of last season when he was finally healthy. And he was a top draft pick, so maybe Scoot Henderson has a good year this upcoming year. Shaedon Sharpe's an incredible athlete. But it's those unprotected picks that they want, man. Let's look at Blazers first-round picks. It's those first-round picks that they want, man. And if the Blazers are going to get this done, dude, Jaylen Brown on the Blazers. Jaylen Brown on the Blazers would be nice. If they can get Jaylen Brown without giving up Deni Avdija, they're going to have to part ways with these draft picks. But then Damian Lillard comes back. Damian Lillard, Deni Avdija, Jaylen Brown. Donovan Clingan. And the Blazers were pretty fun last year. That could be a good team. That could be a good team, depending if Damian Lillard is not totally cooked yet. Let's see. They have a 2027 first round pick. They have a 2028 first round pick. They have a 2029 first round pick. They have a 2031 first round pick. Bro, are the Blazers really going to do that? That would be the Portland Trailblazers going all in right now and deciding that if they add Jaylen Brown to their team, they feel like they can compete with everybody in the West. Would it be smart for the Blazers to give up 4 first-round picks for Jaylen Brown? I think so. I do think so, because I don't think you've been relevant you've been irrelevant for such a long time. The Portland Trailblazers have. And whatever it costs to get you into relevancy and get a player like Jaylen Brown in his prime, I think you absolutely do that if you're the Portland Trailblazers. I think I see the Portland Trailblazers being the most likely destination for Jaylen Brown. Yo, shout out Vlad Rack becoming a member of the channel. Thank you so much, my man. I appreciate it. Craig Roberts, member of the channel. Jaylen Brown should go to Orlando. Franz and Paolo isn't working. Jaylen Brown can't dribble. So they finally know who should have the ball most of the time. Jaylen Brown should go to Orlando. Franz and Paolo isn't working. Go to Orlando for who, though? Franz isn't working because he keeps getting hurt. It actually was working, and he got hurt again. He's always hurt. Yeah. So there's all the Jaylen Brown stuff, man. Give me all your thoughts on that. The next thing is the Golden State Warriors are trying to do the funniest thing imaginable. They are trying to trade for Anthony Davis and sign LeBron James. The Golden State Warriors. This is not a fake rumor. This isn't. I mean, it's Kevin O'Connor. He people slide him things. Him and Jake Fisher. People slide him things. It's usually a good source. The Warriors are trying to trade for Anthony Davis and sign LeBron James. It sounds crazy. When you think about it, it's not that crazy. The Warriors hope trading for Anthony Davis would lure LeBron to Golden State. The Warriors hope trading for Anthony Davis would lure LeBron to Golden State. The pitch would be simple. Reunite Anthony Davis, team up with Steph Curry and Draymond Green, play for Steve Kerr, and chase one more championship with a roster of legends. I don't see a better path for LeBron James right now. I know yesterday I said going to Miami makes sense, but if he really wants to have a chance at winning, now, do I think that team's actually winning? Do I think that team's actually beating the Spurs or the Thunder? No, probably not. But if you're LeBron James, staying in LA makes no sense, especially on a vet minimum. And I don't know what the Lakers are doing building just the 2026 Backstreet Boys. They're not going to be able to defend anybody. They're building such a bad roster. LeBron James played so hard in the playoffs last year without a single chance to win, without Luka, without Reeves. If LeBron wants to give it his all for a couple more years, he absolutely should consider going to the Golden State Warriors. And the Golden State Warriors are in a perfect situation. Not a perfect situation, but the Golden State Warriors, obviously what they're trying to do is capitalize on the final couple of years of Steph Curry. And Steph Curry has now, as he gets past his mid-30s, right? He's 38, I think. 37, 38. He's started to pile up, runner's knee that Brian Windhorst said he never heard of before. And I was like, yeah, I know, because you don't run. Steph Curry had runner's knee last year. Of course, he has ankle issues a lot. He had a fractured wrist last year or the year before that. Steph Curry's been injured lately. He's 38 years old. Draymond Green, I don't know how old he is. He looks like he's 58. LeBron James hasn't had injury problems and still just averaged 23, 9, and 7 in the playoffs. But he's 42. And then they're trying to trade for Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has played, let's see. Let's see how many games Anthony Davis has played in the last couple of years. I feel like it's like 20 games a season. I feel like it's about 20 games a season, man. Anthony Davis, let's see. Per game, let's see. Games played. Games in the last, oh my. Oh. Oh, man. Since 2020. Since 2019, screw it. Anthony Davis, 56 games. 2021, I think this was when they shortened the season. So that one doesn't count. Or was that the bubble? Was that 2020? He played 62 games in 2020 and they won a championship. Then he played 40. 56. Had another decently healthy season in 23-24 where he played 76 games. Get out of here. Then he played 51, 42, 9, and 20. This is all the same year, my bad. Well, this is the same year here. 51 total in 24-25. 42 and 9. Yeah, I can't do math. 51 and 24-25 and 20 games last year. What a disaster of a trade for the Dallas Mavericks. So my take on it is this. Like, the Warriors might as well go ahead and give it a shot. It's probably not going to work, but it would be a hell of a lot of fun. At LeBron James on the Warriors, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, it would sell a lot of tickets. It would sell a hell of a lot of tickets. Anthony Davis might last 40 games. He might play 50 games. Probably not. Is Steph Curry, can he stay healthy? It wouldn't work. It definitely wouldn't work. But they have no choice but to give it a shot. And I think LeBron James at this point, he's not going back to LA. Where does he want to go that actually gives him a chance to make a run in the last couple years of his career? I say yes. I say yes. I say yes. What do you guys say in the chat? I say yes. Draymond Green has declined his $27 million player option to become a free agent. This move gives the Warriors flexibility to pursue LeBron James in free agency and Anthony Davis via trade to form a big four. So Draymond forgoes his $27 million player option and will sign a contract for less annual money. Yeah, the Warriors might as well go ahead and do that, man. They might as well go ahead and do that, man. Shaba2X, thank you for becoming a member of the channel, my guy. Yeah, we're stacking up the members here, man. We're stacking up the members. Thank you guys for the support, man. Let's see. We got a couple super chats here. BK77, Golden State turning into a nursing home for the elderly. They are, but you do have Steph Curry. It's not like the Clippers. Was it last year? Yeah, the Clippers last year. When they also signed Chris Paul, or was that 2 years ago? And it made them statistically the oldest team in NBA history. But, you know, Kawhi, in my opinion, has been kind of cooked for a while now. Who else was even on that team? James Harden was on that team. At least the Warriors still have Steph Curry. And when Steph Curry's healthy, he's still absolutely unbelievable. He's absolutely unbelievable. He is primetime TV. He's still primetime TV. He really is. And he doesn't look like he's slowing down too much if he can stay healthy. So I don't think the Warriors have another path. And after Steph Curry's career, they'll go into full rebuild mode. But right now, they might as well do it, man. I heard delusions of LeBron going to the Thunder. That shit ain't happening. I know he wants a championship, but he's too expensive. Nah, LeBron wouldn't make any sense on the Thunder. You know what I mean? The Thunder is the SGA show. And, you know, it's very similar to the New York Knicks strategy of team building, which is one superstar who runs the whole show and just the perfect complementary pieces around him, and then defense, rebounding, rim defense. The Thunder go and add a 7'4" monster down there to battle Wemby next year. I don't see how LeBron James would make any sense at all for the Oklahoma City Thunder. We got Kawhi Leonard trade rumors. And it's the Toronto Raptors. Let's get the latest on Kawhi here, man. Kawhi Leonard. Could he be going back to Toronto? The Clippers and the Raptors are seriously engaged in trade talks surrounding Kawhi Leonard, with Toronto being the only team he would commit to on a long-term extension if traded. Played for the Raptors in 18-19, led them to an NBA championship where he averaged damn near 40 points a game. He was in his prime. He was healthy. He was absolutely unbelievable. He is no longer in his prime, rarely healthy. And the thing is, man, how old is Kawhi Leonard? How old is Kawhi? Let's look at Kawhi, see how many games he played the last couple of years too, man. Kawhi Leonard it doesn't show his age on here. How old is Kawhi Leonard?
Kawhi Leonard is 35 years old.
There you go. Siri just told you. He's 35 years old. He is a fun guy. Don't forget that. Kawhi Leonard the last couple of years, man. Let's look. He played 65 games, 37, 68, 52. He was pretty healthy his third year in LA. LA Clippers, 57, 52, 52, 68, 37, and 65 last year. He was pretty healthy last year, but, you know, he still didn't, like, they got to the playoffs, and he stepped up. I mean, he averaged 28 points a game last year. When he's healthy, when Kawhi Leonard's healthy, he could still give you 28, 6, and 3. But the Clippers aren't good. So, you know, it hasn't been a good roster around him. Everybody knew the James Harden thing wasn't going to work. I don't know why teams keep trading for James Harden. The Toronto Raptors, on the other hand, they're probably looking at it like, hey, when he's healthy, he played 65 games. He averaged 28 and 6. We have a team full of number twos, right? We got a lot of good athletes. We got a lot of good defenders. We got a lot of good players. We need that one guy. We need that one star that really puts us into contention. And so if the Raptors aren't giving up too much, I think it does make sense for them. And now I saw a rumor that they're not willing to give up more than one first-round pick. So, like, that's the thing, too. You might be able to get Kawhi Leonard kind of cheap at this point. Let's hear what Shams has to say about it. This is the latest from Shams.
The Clippers and Toronto Raptors are seriously engaged on a trade that would send Kawhi Leonard back to Toronto. And sources tell me that Kawhi Leonard has made it clear around the league that Toronto would be the only place he would commit to on a long-term contract extension if he's traded out of LA. And that's at the crux of this situation. The Clippers have not made any commitment to Kawhi Leonard beyond his current contract, which has 1 year and about $50 million left on it. And so a player of Kawhi Leonard's caliber, just made the second team All-NBA, having a long-term commitment it clearly is a very important part. And back with Toronto means a few things. One, the familiarity that exists between these two sides. Kawhi Leonard was there for one season, 2018, 2019, won a championship there. Most of that for an
and bounced as soon as he could.
Office regime is still intact, led by Bobby Webster, the executive vice president of basketball operations. And he won there. There's history there. And so
they had a stacked team.
When you think about those conversations, they've been going on over the last few days. They're expected to continue over the course of today to see if a deal can come to fruition. And right now, one thing that's become clear around the league is Kawhi Leonard does have a amount of leverage in this situation because he has just 1 year left on his deal, and Toronto is the place he was signed. And
oh, he's talking about leverage over the Clippers. Yeah, absolutely. I think Kawhi Leonard has leverage over the Clippers. They should absolutely want to trade him and not, let him walk in free agency after this upcoming season. The other rumor that I saw is that the Toronto Raptors do not want to trade Colin Murray-Boyles, and they absolutely should not want to trade him. Here's this one. The Clippers want Colin Murray-Boyles. Let's see this one. The Clippers have zero interest in Brandon Ingram. I told you. Brandon Ingram is upper middle class. He's not really moving the needle. He's just cruises. I don't know, man. Give me your thoughts on Brandon Ingram, everybody, because Brandon Ingram just doesn't do it for me. The Clippers have zero interest in Brandon Ingram in a potential Kawhi Leonard trade and would demand Colin Murray-Boyles in any potential deal. CMB is a young key asset that the Clippers would likely seek in a Leonard trade, yet to this point, the Raptors have left Murray-Boyles out of all discussions, as they should. The Clippers showed no interest in Toronto's package revolving around Ingram and did not initiate conversations nor propose a counteroffer, sources said. I am not giving up Colin Murray-Boyles in a Kawhi Leonard trade if I'm the Toronto Raptors. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. What do you guys think? I'm not doing that. This dude was amazing in the playoffs. This dude was amazing this year. He was amazing in the playoffs. What did they take? Did they take Cleveland 7 games? I forget. He was amazing in the playoffs. There was times where he looked like the best player on the whole team as a rookie. He's got to be the one untouchable in Toronto. As a rookie, he looked like the best player on the team a lot of times. I am absolutely not giving up CMB in a Kawhi Leonard trade. If the Raptors do that, then they're just accepting the fact that, like, hey, you got to pay to play. You got to give to get. We feel like Kawhi takes us to the next level. We look at how weak the East was outside of the New York Knicks. Kawhi could take us to the Eastern Conference Finals next year. But do you want to give up a player that you could build around for the next 15 years? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Rob, what's up, man? Thank you for the super chat. Have we taken the time to laugh at Harden declining his player option to seek another long-term deal? Hold on. Thank you for that, man. Thank you for that. Hold on. This show might be 2 hours long, but I don't care, bro. Hang out with me. Ride with me. Rock with me. Hold on. Let's go do that. I forgot that came out yesterday. I mean, it had to be a... Oh, this is just 3 hours ago. I guess I didn't even see this today. How did me of all people miss that one? This was just 3 hours ago. James Harden is declining his $42 million player option, and the sides are working through a new multi-year deal to get... Yeah, okay. So it's what I thought it was going to be. It's an agreement between him and the Cleveland Cavaliers to sign a long-term deal. Like, it's not like he didn't have that set up and just said, hey, I think I'm worth a long-term deal. I'm going to decline my player option, and then we'll see what happens. No, they agreed on this together. They are going to sign James Harden to a multi-year deal. I'm not laughing at James Harden for this. Go get your money. You know? I'm laughing at the Cavs, bro. When the Cavaliers traded for James Harden, I literally thought it was just a Darius Garland salary dump. That's all I thought it was. I thought it was, hey, let's get rid of his salary. We know we can't win with him next to Donovan Mitchell, and we just don't believe in him as a championship-level NBA player. He can't defend DJ Eastwood's 11-year-old son. Let's get rid of that contract. Let's bring in an expiring contract in James Harden. If it doesn't work out and you know, we trade James Harden on the expiring, or we just let him walk. The Cavaliers were embarrassing in the Eastern Conference Finals. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. And then you got Donovan Mitchell going out after the series making comments about how successful it was, and we did something we did something the Cavs haven't done since 2007 or whatever. Like this was good enough type of vibes. Then he has a quote where he said, like, I might win a championship here, I might not, but I've won at life. Like that guy, Donovan Mitchell doesn't give a fuck. He just said straight up, I don't give a fuck. I think they should have let Harden walk. I think they should trade Donovan Mitchell. It's over for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They got to get rid of that coach. They're signing James Harden to an extension so he can go out there and be 20 pounds overweight, dribble the air out of the ball, flop his fat ass all over the floor so his friends can slip on his sweat and injure his own teammates. Flopping, not playing defense, yelling at officials, embarrassing himself, and then just can't wait for that shit to be over so he can go back to Houston and party. What a horrible... Oh, my God. What a horrendous decision by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Just, James Harden has been robbing teams of money for such a long time. He was cooked when he was in Philly. That was 5 years ago. He's still convincing people to pay him millions of dollars for multiple years. I got to credit James Harden, man. He's a hustler. He's doing something right. He's doing something right. That Cleveland Cavaliers team is not winning anything. And if I was a Cavs fan, I would be really mad at the fact that they're signing James Harden to an extension. Thank you for that, Rob. I didn't even see that news today. Thank you for helping me clip farm, man. Let's see what else. Let's see. Marcellus Wiley reacted to me on his YouTube show. I think that's hilarious. And then we're going to talk about this Malik Beasley stuff, man. Analytically, they won, though. I forgot about the coach. Yeah. Dominic Barlow, Jalen Brunson. Oh, my God, bro. Rudy is in the chat talking about the Sixers again. Holy hell, man. Every time I look at the chat, it's Rudy talking about the Sixers. How are you actually going to spend your entire offseason talking about the Philadelphia 76ers every day? That's insanity. It's absolutely insane. I know what it... Rudy, you're at work right now, I bet. And it seems like you got a real boring job. Or you're on your lunch break. I'm just saying, you got to be really bored to be thinking about the 76ers every day. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. Check this out. Marcellus Wiley.
Like, really?
Who used to be on, ESPN, FS1, shows like that. Well, he now does a YouTube show. Like everybody does, because YouTube is the future, you know? When people tell me, hey, man, keep going. One day you'll be on TV. I'm like, bro, this is the future. I don't want to be on TV. Think about it. Actually, if you watch one of my YouTube shows on your TV, the next time you turn on your TV, the home screen says suggested videos. My face is, I'm already on TV. This is TV now. People need to realize that. This is TV now. I'm already on TV. I just need more and more people to find this channel. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Marcellus Wiley, who used to be on TV and is now doing a YouTube show, reacted to me on his YouTube show. And it's hilarious because I think what I said, and I want to react to it though because Marcellus Wiley is a football player. He doesn't actually, I don't know if he talks about the NBA. I don't know if he talks about basketball. I don't think he does. Y'all let me know. But I don't feel like he really knows. I thought he was going to give his input on what I said. But I don't think he really knows enough about it to give his input. Anyway, here's what he reacted to.
Self is sitting there cursing you out. Girl, this ain't getting it. It's all I got. like, we all know what I'm talking about. We all know what I'm talking about. This is how they treating LeBron right now. They're like, oh, look at LeBron. The Cavs got $18 million for him. Go, LeBron. And Ron like, if y'all don't stop, y'all ain't got to lie. I thought this story is hilarious. Peep game.
Do know about the Lakers is, for some...
No! Oh, we got to fix this. This is hilarious. Yeah?
He thought I got banned from Instagram. Listen.
Did y'all see that? Oh, I'm glad I took y'all off screen. Lord, my search is silly. They know what I like. Cheetos. Okay, I got to get this back.
I like this.
I got to get this back.
I like that he does this show like this. Like, he's just doing a YouTube show. He's not trying to make it look like ESPN or anything like that. He's just reacting to shit like I react to shit.
Oh, they shut it down. It was a little racy. The dude had the all-white Lakers team.
He thought they shut me down.
It's hilarious. I wanted that on. All right, well, that's how y'all play. That's how y'all play. Let me try one more time, though. It might pop up one more time. Damn, they banned my man. Oh, here we go. Yes. It's small, but nah. This is good. This is better than nothing. Let's go. Watch this dude. This dude's silly. It's time to hydrate, y'all. Watch this dude.
Lakers is, for some reason, they have been solely focused on building the whitest team of all time. I am convinced that the LA Lakers quite possibly are running an underground white supremacy ring. Their sole mission is to prove that you can win in the NBA with a team of all whites. They're calling this dude Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's like they were just like, is he white? We'll take him.
I did hear about him. I forgot to do it, right? Did he go to UCLA or something? Now, this is funny. If y'all gonna play the race card, have fun with it and make silly of it.
Now, look, this dude's crazy talented. There's a reason he wasn't drafted. He's not getting a single bucket in the NBA. That's a white Janai Broom. This dude is Jonathan Broom. And I don't think he got that joke. And then they go and sign this guy. What are the Lakers doing with all the whites? Is there any Lakers fans in here? I don't hear anybody else talking about this, bro. If I'm a Lakers fan, I'm walking in there like Riley Reid. Where are the black guys? I don't think he got that joke either.
Silly.
I didn't come here for all these white guys. Do you think he got that joke? You guys think he got that joke? I'm in 2026. I need athletes. What I do know.
Blah. Oh, man, that's so crazy. I mean, to the tune of, like, when we were talking earlier with Josh Hart, analytics, white guy. Like, we all know stereotypes have truth in it. That's why they are stereotypes, right? The type, right? And then you amplify it and you act like it's more than it is. That's what stereotype is.
See, he's trying to play this safely because I don't think he wants to offend anybody that watches his show. I'm not joking. I know the clip was funny, and I know I threw in some, like, intentional jokes in there, but I'm not joking. I'm not amplifying a stereotype to make it funny. I'm being serious. Why the fuck do the Lakers think they can win in the NBA in 2026 with a team of all white guys? It doesn't make sense. I'm not joking. I thought he was going to agree with me, but then he kind of does this thing where he's like, yeah, you know, he's playing a stereotype for entertainment to be funny. I'm not joking at all, dude.
And I ain't mad at it. Well, I didn't know the Lakers were getting whiter, as he wants to say. I didn't see
They are. It's not a joke. They are.
all those transactions. And wow, just imagine that actually was on the court and that was a championship. Like you saw, you heard Mike Breen saying, and now your 2027 NBA champion Los Angeles Lakers. Isn't that crazy how you would look and literally there will be some pause of like, really?
They can't win a championship with that team. Look, you could win a championship with all white guys, but you would have to find all of the outliers. You would need 7 Cooper Flags and Alex Caruso's. And then you could throw a couple snipers in there, right? You can't. I'm not joking. My point is, yeah, I made it funny on purpose, but it's not actually a joke. I'm being serious. I would be so mad if my team kept signing all the whites. Let's talk about this Malik Beasley thing, man. And look, I know sometimes when I say that, there's like a white guy that gets offended. I think the funniest thing about it is, they're like, obviously I'm white. I am South Philly Italian and Irish. I mean, I'm white as fuck, you know. But I know reality. I know the truth. I don't sugarcoat things. I don't dance around things. Like, come on, bro. Right? And once in a while, when I say something like, why do they, you can't win with a team full of white guys, there's that one white dude in the comments that gets mad about it and then actually tries to argue that you can win with all white guys and calls me racist. And I'm like, are you that prideful? Like, I'm not ashamed of being white. Don't get me wrong. I love being white. Being white's the shit. Right? But I'm not, like, so prideful of my history and my ancestors that I'm refusing to admit reality. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, they made a movie called White Men Can't Jump. It's not just a stereotype. Anyway, the one guy that always gets mad and calls me racist, I think it's pretty funny. Why you got to make it about race? I normally wouldn't. I don't ever talk about race. Until a team builds a team full of white guys. Then I talk about race. Oh, man. I just think it's funny. And I've always been like this. I don't take shit too seriously, man. I don't. My mom used to yell at me, why don't you ever take anything serious? I'm just out here vibing. I'm just having a good time, bro. Let's all just have a good time until we're not here anymore. You know what I mean? Why is everybody so fucking serious, man? Why is everybody so damn serious? It's not that serious. Anyway, before we get out of here, the Malik Beasley stuff, man. Malik Beasley is cooked. Malik Beasley is cooked. Check this out. Let me get this up here. Just in, Malik Beasley has been indicted on federal charges for gambling connected to a sports betting ring per ESPN. Now, this was last year, that the investigation started. Now he's been officially indicted, which means he's being charged, and then there will be a trial where they try to prove that he was point shaving in the middle of NBA games. And I was just reading kind of like how much jail time would you get for that? And he could be looking at anywhere from 5 years to, like, if it's just point shaving, if it's just he was betting on himself and then throwing games or throwing his own performance to hit an under, he could still do 5 to 10 years in prison for that. But if it's deeper than that, if it's like money laundering and a part of a bigger criminal organization and things like that, that's when you can start looking at like 20 years, 40 years. This dude might be cooked. Might be actually cooked. Look, they got some of the clips here. They got some of the clips here of Malik Beasley throwing games, man. The spread on this game right here was a plus 8.5. And the Clippers were up by 8. Look at this. Spread was 8.5. So he needs... So if he was betting, it depends what side, he was betting on. But the spread was 8.5. It's an 8-point game. There you go. 9-point game. So they cover the spread. What does Malik Beasley do? Bro, the game's over. Everybody stopped. Nobody else on the Wolves is trying this hard. The game is over. There's 5 seconds left. He wanted to put that ball in the hoop more than anybody in this whole game, in this last 5 seconds. He was like, oh shit, I gotta score right now to make my money. That's crazy. We got another one here. Look at what bro was doing. Make it less obvious. Let's see this one. Let's see this one. Here, where's Malik Beasley? Let's see. 6 minutes left. Was he on the Bucks here? He was on the Bucks. Yo! Look at him guarding Halliburton right here. Or not guarding Halliburton. Holy shit. Oh my God. Yo, I hope the trial is like televised and they play these clips in court. Do you know how amazing that is? Do you know how amazing it would be for them to play these clips in court? Let me find the other one. There's a lot more of them. Here's the last play of his career. Hold on. Here you go. Crazy how this is the last play of his career. Remember this? He had just hit... I remember this game. I don't remember if it was in the playoffs. New York was up 3-2. He had just hit 2 big threes in this fourth quarter. But then he turned the ball over. I feel like I remember on this side of the court, he turned the ball over last possession. And then this was the last play. You guys remember this? He had 2 crazy turnovers basically to throw this game. Wow. I hope they play that one in court. I think people are replying with the clips. This was the same one. Let me see if I can find like a montage of Malik Beasley point shaving. Let's see. Malik Beasley. Am I spelling it right? Ley? and then we'll hit media. Oh, here we go. Check this out. Beasley is accused of also working with bettors to hit the over on some of his stats. They bet on him to hit the over on rebounds on March 10th. He did that in the last few seconds. The group celebrated afterward. They got text message threads. Brown, oh my God, he got one rebound with 1.1 second left. Fam, no way. He pushed Connaughton out of the way. These dudes were reacting to Malik Beasley throwing the game. Fam, we were 1.1 seconds away from being down thousands. What's funny is after he got it, he had a big sigh of relief. Wow. Malik Beasley and Ed Davis, former NBA players, have been indicted on sports gambling charges. Now let's look at the Pablo Torre post. Because a year ago, Pablo Torre had like a, part of his Pablo Finds Out show where they were talking about this. And Pablo Torre just responded. This was the original one, July 15th, 2025, where a mysterious Twitter user basically was putting on Twitter that Malik Beasley is about to be caught for gambling. And everybody was like, what? And it was this freemoose_NBA account. 35 followers, a straight up random ass NBA account is the reason Malik Beasley got caught. And now Pablo Torre posts this. One of the Bucks games, the district attorney, the district office general, district of attorney, I don't know what is DOJ, has now identified Malik Beasley took place on January 26th against the Cavs. On that same date, elsewhere in the NBA, Jonte Porter took himself out of the Raptors game against the Clippers after 4 minutes. Look at this. Bro, they got text message threads. They got text message threads of Malik Beasley agreeing to throw games. Look at this. Davis says, only way you can beat Vegas is sports betting. Let me see if it's bigger if I do it this way. That's what she said. Let me see. I think it's easier to see like this. Yeah. Look, Davis, only way you can beat Vegas is sports betting. Everything else, they got the edge. And Beasley says, well, hell yeah. I'm trying to find like 2K. I'll do my best to pay in full on the first. Bro, you're an NBA player and you don't have $2,000? I'm trying to find like 2K. I'll do my best to pay in full on the first. How is this guy so broke? Davis said, you got Snapchat? He said, not really. Why? I'll talk to you about some shit on there. And he said, you can't do it here. And he said, it's better to talk on there. We can make some good money. He was telling Malik Beasley not to talk about it in a text message thread. And he did it anyway and got himself caught. Wow. On or about January 25th, 2024, the defendant, Malik Beasley, discussed via text message whether he would underperform on overall points, 3-point goals, and or rebounding. I want to say this. You have to be absolutely retarded to be an NBA player and be so broke that you are throwing games to try to win money. And then admitting on a text message thread that you don't even have $2,000. How are you that broke as an NBA player? People are out here living on $40,000 a year. Less than that. The minimum NBA contract is $4 million a year. I don't care what you tell me about taxes and what state it's in and expenses and paying your agent. I don't give a damn. In real life, if you make $500,000 a year, you are rich. You are wealthy. I live in Hershey, Pennsylvania. 2 streets away from me, there's $5 million houses. The surgeons in the hospital, the executives at the Hershey company, these people are rich. I don't know how much money they're making, but they're not even making as much money as Malik Beasley was making in the NBA. How the hell are you making that much money and broke? To the point where you are trying to throw games to bet on yourself. I'm confused. I'm confused, man. You guys, this guy's an absolute dumbass. This guy's an absolute dumbass. 100,000 a year is rich. Listen, life's expensive these days, man. I wouldn't call 100 grand a year rich. 100 grand a year is a nice living, though. Comfortable living. For me to feel like I'm rich, for me to feel total financial freedom, like I can do whatever I want. I don't need to be out here buying. You're not going to see me with a car collection any day. You're not going to see me in a mega mansion. You know, I would never do any of that if I would make a lot of money. Maybe I would, but I would need to make a lot of money. But for me to feel total financial freedom, like I can have a house, a couple of cars, I can pay everything for what my kids need. My wife doesn't have to work. We can take multiple vacations a year. We can eat at restaurants whenever we want. We don't really have a budget on daily things like that. For me to feel like that, it would have to be like $300K a year. I feel like $300 to $500K. You would really feel like total financial freedom. But these NBA players somehow fucking broke. They trick off their money on women, cars, and homes. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they do. They get a couple $1 million and they blow it all. They fly out Instagram models. You know what I mean? They want to hang out with rappers in the club. They want the VIP section. They want all the famous people to know that that's them. They want the Instagram models and the actresses and whoever else. They want to buy a house in every state. They can't even do math. It costs a lot of money to maintain a house, property taxes every year. You're not even there half the time. So like lawn management, cleaning companies, right? And they're probably throwing extravagant parties. They got to have a car collection, right? Because you can't just have one car. You can't be an NBA player and show up in the same car the next day. That would be, So they got to have 10 different cars. So they spend all this money to look the part and play the part. But the thing is, your career it's so short. Especially when you're an NBA role player. You don't know how long you're going to be in the NBA. And now you got 10 houses, 15 cars, 15 baby mamas, $100,000 in child support every month. And then guess what? You get bought out and you're done. Now you got how many millions of dollars a year in expenses and you're bringing in $0. You see what I'm saying? That's how shit like this happens. Why can't people just stay humble, man? Why can't people just stay humble, man? If YouTube ends up making me millions of dollars, I'll still be right here. I'll be right here, dude. I'll be right here. They'll be talking about, they'll be like, yo, Eastwood, he made it big, man. They'll be like, yeah, but he's still right down the street in Hershey, PA. I'll be right here. I won't be in LA. I won't be in Florida. I won't be in Miami. I'll be right here. I'll have one of the big houses over where the doctors are at. You know what I'm saying? I'll have one of the big houses over there. Don't get me wrong. But I'll be right here, man. These people just, I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, that was a fun little segment. Where do you guys stand on the LaMelo Ball trade? Let me know in the chat. A couple of days later, who do you feel won the trade? I have seen several charts now showing how much LaMelo Ball impacts the game. LaMelo Ball is one of the top players in the NBA at generating his teammates' quality of shots. Again, like his perception and how he drives cars and how he dresses gives him a bad rep. And, you know, maybe he's not a perfect locker room guy. You know, maybe he's cocky, maybe he's arrogant, maybe it's all about him. Maybe there was some internal stuff in Charlotte like that and they were just tired of his attitude. I don't know. I don't know anything about that, but he's actually so good on the court. That's what I don't get about the Charlotte Hornets trading him away. He's so good on the court. I just think you got to deal with the headache. He shot 37% from three on 10 attempts per game, averaged 7 assists, is one of the highest in the NBA at generating his teammates' quality of shots. The Charlotte Hornets were like a +9 consistently over his career with him on the court versus off. And that's when they were bad. He has health issues with the constant getting injured with the ankles and everything like that. Probably has an attitude issue. And the Hornets didn't want to extend him. But I still just think he's so good. I think he's the main reason the Hornets did what they did last year. And yeah, Con Knippel was an amazing draft pick. And Brandon Miller is really good. But LaMelo Ball was the engine to that. I don't get it. Anyway, let's listen to what Bill Simmons said here. Let's listen to what Bill Simmons said on this topic, because we'll hear what's his stance on it.
You were bullish on the trade for both teams, actually.
I think it's like a B for both teams. Is if I were a trade grade guy, that's about what I would do.
I'm at A- or A for Charlotte, and I'll go into the reasons in a second.
A- or A for Charlotte. I want to know why Bill Simmons wears these tiny ass headphones, man. I hate his headphones, dude. Bill, I hate your headphones, man. It looks like one of those. It looks like a Walkman. You know the old CD player back in the day?
I couldn't believe the trade from Minnesota. I fucking hated it.
Wow.
I hated it. I just couldn't believe it. You do this trade. I wrote down some notes. You do this trade if you want to become the most beloved NBA team with under 25 fans who play video games and are online a lot.
What's with all of the Melo Ball hate, man? Bill, no, come on, man.
It's a 2K merchandise jersey selling trade. I get it. You don't want teams to double Anthony Edwards anymore.
So I feel like
at the end of the day, like I reacted to the Timberwolves, what they gave up for LaMelo Ball, and I initially thought it was a lot. And actually, you guys in the comments kind of opened my eyes to the fact that they didn't really give up that much. They gave up Naz Reid in a first-round pick. The pick swaps don't really matter.
I feel like I get it is kind of an important qualifier to I hate the fucking trade.
Why do they hate it that much? Why do they hate it that much? I don't get it.
I get it.
The Timberwolves didn't have a point guard. Putting LaMelo Ball on the floor frees up Anthony Edwards. Like a lot. All right, let's hear the rest of it. Sorry.
I couldn't believe the trade from Minnesota. I fucking hated it. I hated it. I just couldn't believe it. You do this trade. I wrote down some notes. You do this trade if you want to become the most beloved NBA team with under 25 fans who play video games and are online a lot. It's a 2K merchandise jersey selling trade. I get it. You don't want teams to double Anthony Edwards anymore.
So I feel like I feel like I get it is kind of an important qualifier to I hate the fucking trade.
I get it on paper.
I also feel like, you know, when these guys drop the F-bomb, it feels forced to me. It feels like they were like, it feels like they're like, hey, we're not on ESPN or anything. We can say bad words. Like, I don't know, something about, I feel like something about that just bothers me for some reason.
LaMelo Ball would solve a lot of problems that you had with Anthony Edwards last year. There's one problem. He doesn't fucking play. He's played 2 seasons of the last 6. Last year, Charlotte brilliantly he played big.
It doesn't sound authentic is what I'm saying. It feels like they're trying to be edgy.
Big minutes early, got hurt, came back. I watched a ton of Charlotte last year, as you know. They were using him like a race car on Sundays, just driving him slowly around the block. He averaged 27.5 minutes a game from mid-November on, Zach.
I wasn't listening. Who's he talking about?
He's played 2 seasons of the last 6. Last year,
you talking about LaMelo Ball?
He doesn't fucking play.
All right, let's hear
a lot of problems that you had with Anthony Edwards last year. There's one problem.
Oh, Anthony Edwards?
A lot of problems.
All right, I'm reacting to a video and I wasn't even listening. My bad. Let's try this again.
I feel like I get it is kind of an important qualifier too.
Okay,
I hate the fucking trade.
I get it on paper.
Ooh, edgy. All right, let's listen.
LaMelo Ball would solve a lot of problems that you had with Anthony Edwards last year. There's one problem. He doesn't fucking play.
All right, he's talking about...
He's played LaMelo. 2 seasons of the last 6.
He's played 2 seasons of the last 6.
Last year, Charlotte brilliantly he played big minutes early, got hurt, came back. I watched a ton of Charlotte last year, as you know. They were using him like a race car on Sundays, just driving him slowly around the block. He averaged 27.5 minutes a game from mid-November on, Zach.
They were using him like a race car on Sundays, driving slowly around the block? What does that mean?
They were really, really careful about not getting him hurt again, almost like they knew they were going to trade him this summer.
Okay.
So this to me feels like a Hail Mary trade that your fans are going to like because LaMelo is the best player in it. The Charlotte fans are mad because they love LaMelo. LaMelo doesn't fucking play. I wrote down he's the least durable good guard of the last 25 years.
Wow.
6 seasons, 9,400 minutes, 0 playoff games, which puts him on this crazy list of guys who have averaged 20 points a game in their first 6 seasons, but have played less than 10,000 minutes. And it's basically just him and John Moran and Zion. And that's it. He's not reliable. He has I think
you can't throw out how many playoff games he's played. The Charlotte Hornets were terrible.
He has metal in his ankle. Like this is not like, oh, Steph Curry had ankle injuries too. LaMelo's injuries are way worse than Steph Curry's were. And I just wouldn't have bet on it. I thought this was a crazy trade.
You can make the case about picks and salaries and all this stuff. I think it really just boiled down to we watch the playoffs and we just don't think he can hang at that level. And those are all fair. Those are all fair.
We don't trust him physically or basketball IQ wise.
I think the IQ
to win
stuff,
16 playoff games with this guy.
I think you can get over the IQ stuff because, like you said, I think it trended well last year. I think being the clear second best guy on a team is going to really kind of force him to recalibrate some of the ways he plays. But I think it's more of the physicality stuff, and I think that's a completely fair bet for Charlotte. I think when you combine this trade with the Bridges trade that happened today that we're going to talk about, I think Charlotte has come out looking awesome. Just to like put those together, great work by the Hornets who continue to just kill it.
I think Charlotte made a mistake. I don't think Kobe White is a point guard that's leading you somewhere. I think Kobe White's a perfect 6-man. I think Charlotte made a major mistake. LaMelo Ball was the engine to how good they were last year. Yes, he's not wrong about his injury history. But the Minnesota Timberwolves give up 1 unprotected first-round pick and Naz Reid and take a chance. And they're trying to free up Anthony Edwards with one of the best facilitators in the game. I think it makes perfect sense. What's up, Cyan? Thank you for the super chat. LaMelo Ball trade. I can see why the Timberwolves wanted a trade to compete with the Thunder and Spurs. LaMelo Ball won't get them past those two. Janelle Ball? LaMelo Ball won't get them past those two. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. Nobody's beating the Thunder and Spurs for the next 5 years, I feel like. Rob, thank you for the super chat. I was encouraged by the chat to ask how you feel about Ben Simmons coming back to the Sixers. Lots of chatter in the chat. Rob, thank you for the super chat. I'm not responding to that at all. I love you. Thank you for the support. Ben Simmons is a professional fisherman. I cannot believe in 2026 people are still bringing up his name. I think the chat told you to do that as a troll so that I would rant about Ben Simmons, but not today, motherfuckers, not today. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out. Another edition of Run It Back NBA. We're doing this Monday through Friday, live at 12, all off season. Today was a long one, man. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.